Hey everybody, this is Waves. I'm making this quick little video, continuation of my last one, focusing on the rotation and what you want to prioritize while you're playing in the pre-patch. So, as a continuation on my last video, where I talked about the talents and overall changes and abilities in Kata, this is just going to focus on the rotation. I'm not going to really cover the opener. The only thing I'll say about the opener is that, unlike in Wrath, we want to pre-pull our Army of the Dead rather than cast it during the fight. So let's go over then our main points of emphasis. Number one, maintain our diseases. Since we don't have Outbreak, we'll do that by applying with Icy Touch and Plague Strike, and then mostly maintaining with Festering Strike. I say mostly maintaining because there's going to be times where it's just better to use Scourge Strikes on our Death Runes rather than just always Festering Strike, and then it's okay to throw down an Icy Touch and a Plague Strike. The problem with Festering Strike is that it only renews your diseases by 6 seconds, whereas with full talents, you'll get 33 seconds from your Icy Touch and Plague Strike. And in many cases, it's better to do that than to waste a bunch of Festering Strike runes when you could be doing Scourge Strike, which is our number one damaging ability. So that's number one. Number two, we are going to be doing Death and Decay on cooldown. So the difference from Wrath is that this is no longer 3 runes, it's only one Unholy, and it's 30-second cooldown. So it's not that big of a deal like it was with Morb. You just got to pay attention and make sure that you keep it on cooldown, because this happens to be your highest damaging attack over the course of its life. So we want to make sure that we are always putting that down. That's number two. Number three, we want to make sure that we are keeping our Dark Transformation up as much as possible. That means always making sure that when our ghoul is not transformed, we are prioritizing getting RP, doing death coils, getting him back into abomination stage status. And then while he's transformed, we want to watch our RP. We don't want to give up a GCD just so that we can pull RP. However, we do want to watch it and just try to keep RP going until the end. Another thing to be aware of is if you've got like 2 or 3 seconds, maybe even 5 seconds left on your Dark Transformation, hold that Sudden Doom proc for just a couple of seconds and then hit it. That way you can start off with a stack immediately. So that's number 3, is maintaining our Dark Transformation. And then number 4, Horn of Winter all the time, using our blood taps. We want to use our blood tap basically on cooldown. And then last but certainly not least, we want to constantly be trying to get Runic Corruption procs. So when we get a Sudden Doom proc, we want to use it immediately, unless there's a few seconds left on Dark Transformation. And we want to use our Death Coils throughout. Even when we have Dark Transformation, if we have a spare GCD, we want to prioritize hitting a Death Coil, again, so we can get some Runic Corruption. So let's kind of slowly work through this rotation. So I'm going to first start out by applying my diseases, then I'm going to throw down Death and Decay, and then I'm going to use Festering Strike more liberally when I don't have my ghoul transformed. That's because Festering Strike gives me more RP. You get 10 RP per rune used. So using Festering Strike is going to give me 20 versus 10. You're just getting more RP per GCD. So let's start out with that. Apply my diseases. Going to drop my D&D. Going to do another. Now I'm going to try to... Actually, I'm missing quite a bit. Okay, we got our Dark Transformation. We want to put our D&D back down. We want to use that Festering. We're getting some Sudden Doom procs. Now we're starting to get behind on our runes. So whenever you get behind on your runes, that's when you want to prioritize a Festering Strike. Now we're about to lose our diseases. So I'm actually going to reapply using Icy Touch. I'm going to do 2. Notice how I did that right there. I saw that I was getting too many runes. That's when I prioritized using Festering Strike. And I've capped out my RP, so I don't want to do that. Gonna maintain my diseases. I'm about to lose my... Okay, I'm holding a Sudden Doom. Now I use it. I don't want to lose... I don't want to drift my runes too much. And see, I've been neglecting my D&D. Throw that down. Just spent all of my death runes on Scourge Strike. I'm about to lose Dark Transformation. So I'm going to hold that. Now I'm going to hit it. There we go. Throw down my D&D. Not doing very good with my D&D. Now my diseases are starting to get close. But I'm going to use the Festering Strike because I had too many runes. Okay, one more Festering Strike. Now dump my... Throw my D&D down. See, I've got too many runes. And Dark Transformation. Got too many runes. And I'm starting to lose my diseases. Get a Festering Strike. I've got too much RP. Drop my D&D. All right, I'm gonna stop right there. So that's kind of the basic rotation. A couple of things I just want to re-emphasize. You'll notice, or you probably noticed, that my runes were filling up very quickly whenever I got a Runic Corruption. And many times that's when I would end up using a Festering Strike. Because I don't want to drift my runes. So good time to use that Festering Strike is if you need more RP and you're about to drift some runes. So hitting a Festering Strike, even if you have some death runes, is a good thing to do there. It's better to use those runes than to let them just sit there and decay. Second thing I wanted to point out, you always want to prioritize hitting Festering Strike when you've noticed some blood or frost runes have become available. You also want to make sure that when you do use Blood Tap, I was kind of doing a poor job of using Blood Tap and D&D, though in my defense I was also trying to narrate what I was doing. Make sure you're using Blood Tap when you have those runes empty. You don't want to waste that Blood Tap. And I was not using Horn of Winter at all. Do as I say, not as I do. Make sure to use Horn of Winter. But in general, that's your rotation, and hopefully this helps you as you get into the pre-patch.